definition, you are going to intoxicate and damage your body somewhat. Question, why don't we, at the same time we're treating our patients with drugs, why don't we also inform them of what they're going to need that will not interfere with the drugs work, but it will help strengthen the body so that even the drugs work better, and so they need less drugs or fewer drugs. And that is that doable? Absolutely. Absolutely. Nutrition can work in tandem with conventional treatment, and that's one of the things that we really try to emphasize in our treatments. And I always say this, doctors are among the true heroes of society, and I'm not just trying to blow sunshine. I truly mean it. But if your only source of health information is your doctor, you're in serious trouble. Very serious trouble, and too many people are making the mistake. They hear about the new nutritional supplement or nutritional approach, and the first person they go and see is their doctor. Well, guess what? We have not been trained much in nutrition. As a matter of fact, we have been trained to distrust nutritional supplementation. And so if you approach your doctor saying, what do you think about this? Well, because he wants to be on the careful side, and because some nutritional supplements have caused more harm than good, he's going to say, what? Stay off it. So you're going to have to need to do some studies on your own. Most people are smart. They just don't want to take that responsibility. And that's one of the things we hope to do with our webinars, to help impress upon you the importance of taking responsibility. And that includes doing the research for yourself, finding out things for yourself, asking questions. And as many of you know, we have made ourselves available to you. And when you have questions that we can't answer, we usually pass them on to the right person, and he gets back with you. That is what we are here for. Let's talk about what happens when we focus on the human body, focus on the body's ability to be strong. You see that the mountain grows stronger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Well, how does that affect the disease? Well, obviously the answer is straightforward. If the healthier you are, even if you have a disease process going on, your body can begin to take care of the disease process. Does it take care of it completely? Maybe not, but it helps the drugs to work better, which is what we've been trying to say all along. So the question is, where do we start? Where do we start building strength? I mean, you go to the average bookstore, and there are tons of books out there on what to do, weight loss, Weight Watchers, depression, what to do to your guts, what you do for your teeth. I mean, it's everything. It's everywhere. It's easy to become confused. It's easy to become cynical about this whole field. So, and really, a typical example I bring up is when I was growing up, I was raised Catholic, and we were always told, well, you need to read the Bible and pray and blah 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 blah. And I was like, well, where do you start? You're going to read the whole book? Well, I tried that. Tried that several times, to read the whole Bible from beginning to end. I always got stuck at, I think it was Leviticus, where it goes into all the rituals and the whole priesthood garments and all the things that they need to do. Fell asleep every time. But are there things that are more important, that stand out, that are more important? Absolutely. And I think that is true as well. If we can focus on the fundamentals, if we can focus on the most important things, and even the Bible emphasizes some things more than others. And so in health as well, there are some things that if you pay attention to, you will get 90% of the benefits that you need, 90% or even more. And so we want to focus on knowledge, the right kind of knowledge that will help us achieve that goal of health. And really, the World Health Organization attests to that. The reason people are sick and unhealthy is because of ignorance, lack of knowledge, and of course, complacency. Where do we start? here are a couple of things that I was like, let me work on. Should we start on should we start building from the basic needs? Should we start with, okay, importance of air or importance of water or shelter? To me, that was a little boring. I was like, maybe that's not too important. I mean, that is important, but people are going to lose interest because they all know this, or they think they do. So I thought about some other things, like, okay, why don't we just start with genes. Let's start with the cell. Let's talk about what the cell needs, and hopefully we'll build up to what the body needs. Well, some people don't. That may be boring as well. So finally, I came up, well, with this statement based on my experience with people and with nutrition, especially with glyconutrients. I found out a lot about nutrition and health through my understanding of glyconutrients, because glyconutrients in a fantastic way helped to improve the intelligence of the body to do what it was designed to do in a fantastic way, in a way that I had never seen before. And so this statement, I love it. It says your body wants to be well. It wants to be healed. It really does. Even if you're hours away from death, your body never gives up. Now, you may give up mentally, but your body is always trying to survive. It's trying to survive. And all it needs are the right tools to help it to survive. And again, I saw that a lot with sugars and the right kind of nutrition. It will do everything within its power to attain that end. And so our goal was to find out how the body works, what it needs to work, and then prevent the toxins from getting to it. And so this was really when we first started. These three main headings were our focus. Just teaching people how the body works, the key things in how the body works. Because once people understand how the body works, it's going to be a lot easier for them to appreciate the value of nutrition, value of exercise, the value of thinking right, the value of having good social support, also the value of avoiding toxins. But it has to start with how the body works. And so we started with that. But again, what aspect are we going to be talking about and how the body works? I like to refer to this next slide as the central governing system of the human body. Okay, all together now. Central governing system. Okay. And here's what it entails. Your thoughts, your feelings. This is like a big term for your mind, conscious mind, your subconscious mind, even to some extent the spiritual aspect of who you are. All those things factor into what we term the mind. Your feelings, your thoughts play the most powerful effect on the rest of the organs in your body. We have about 12 systems in the human body. The master system, the master organ is the nervous system, represented by this pink thing called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus controls most of the subconscious activities in the body. The nervous system, in turn, controls and exerts a lot of influence on the endocrine system, which of course stands for your hormones. We have close to 200 of them. Dr. Sears talked a bit about hormones in our body as well. The next thing, the endocrine system controls the immune system, which accounts for about 25% of all the 60+ trillion cells in the body. The immune system really is your number one defense against disease. And this applies to cancer as well. One of the problems with cancer treatment is that while cancer treatment is destroying the cancer cells, it is also destroying normal cells, especially the immune system, leaving the human body wide open to infection and attack. And so my whole thing has always been, well, while you're treating the cancer, well, why don't you also strengthen the body and strengthen the immune system? That is still not part of dogma with oncologists, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be able to change more of that. Of course, this is your body cells. So again, the whole process is your thoughts. If you're feeling good, you're gonna have if you have good thoughts, your nervous system works better, your endocrine system works better, which in turn helps your immune system to work better, and in turn affects your other 9 systems in the body. And so the focus has to be on these 3 systems, starting with the brain. Very few nutritional products actually that are out there actually really support brain function and as well as endocrine system function. A lot of it's about vitamins and minerals, and yes, vitamins and minerals help brain function as well, but that's not enough. Let me see if I can move on to the next slide. Okay, let's go on the next slide. Okay, next. All right. And so starting from the top,